first, Pappu. First things first. This was one of the things that you sent me.
Yeah.
An article from the BBC.
Yes. The article reads Valentine's Day, How Fake Dates Help Indians Find Love and Intimacy. Basically, this article talks about this business which is started by this person. It's called the Intimacy Curator. And they help Indians.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they help Indians who are
Intimacy curator.
who are introverted or not used to the whole dating culture. Either they have been married for a while and then are divorced and find themselves in their 50s and completely bewildered by how this landscape is, or just young professionals who are really good in what they do in terms of work, but never had much time for socializing.
And I mean, I feel like with us as Desis, when we're really young, we're like, focus on school, don't date, you're not allowed to look at boys, all that stuff. And then suddenly when you graduate, it's like, all right, so have you met anybody? Are you getting married? With no socializing skills.
Exactly. And the fact is that dating is not part of like you see in American movies. You're not encouraged to go out and date and stuff like that. Like, don't talk to boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so different.
And then suddenly you're expected to just meet someone and get married to them.
And know what you're doing.
And you're like, hold on.
Exactly. And honestly, our
our
only like reference was Hindi movies, which is definitely not the route. Like Hindi movies, I feel like totally give us a distorted view of what dating is.
Yeah.
That was like love at first sight. At love at first sight, the movie started, and that is so unrealistic when it comes to today's day and age.
Problematic because it was like uski naam hai ha hai types of things.
Yes,
communication is not clear and
consent.
Is not clear.
Wow. So this is nice. It sounds like this company really found like a niche industry that they could focus on, like something that we really don't have.
Yeah, exactly. And also, again, another group of people are those people who come out as queer or, how do you go on a date with, as a girl who's come out as gay, what is the dating rituals like? Like, how do you communicate
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So it covers like the entire spectrum of that. That's fantastic.
Yes.
All right. So what is it like? What does it do? How does this work?
So how it works is when you sign up for this service, you are, it's almost like a therapy session. So you are you meet this consultant and go on fake dates with them. Not dates because it's like signing up with a therapist, right? So you have one session. So you're taken in different scenarios. Let's say the first date is go for a coffee date. What are the questions? First you are asked to just go ahead with what feels natural with you. And then the consultant will give you some feedback right over there and tell you what little adjustments you can make so that it comes off the right way and it comes off just what you're want to communicate.
Interesting.
So, and also it removes that discomfort factor because, you're going through all the mistakes just in that. So you're less likely to say the wrong things in an actual setting. So, yeah.
Wow. This is so nice because I can think about many times when I was first dating and how intimidating it is, right? I used to just want to drink.
Exactly.
So I could like loosen up. That used to be like, just give me alcohol as soon as possible because I'm freaking out. So actually having something like this when I was younger would have really helped me a lot.
This is good. So the Intimacy Curator's dating surrogacy package can cost anywhere between 12,000 rupees to 80,000 rupees. So that is around $145. And you can have various online sessions with your dating coach. You can explore questions.
This is also, listeners, I'd like to point out, this is cheaper than Seema auntie charges for the arranged marriage. Just saying, just so you know.
Exactly.
So if you're looking to invest in that, I would recommend this instead of Seema auntie.
And also, she doesn't have a very good success rate.
She has a terrible success rate. Like, I don't think she's ever been able to make any of them actually end up together. So, surprise, surprise. This is fantastic, Pappu. I
Yeah.
really think it'll benefit our listeners to check this out. Absolutely.
Or it's not just even if you want to use the service, but I think this is also inspiration that if you have an idea, go for it.
Yes.
It could sound really crazy, but it could just work.
I think this is fantastic because really, Desis, when it comes to this aspect of meeting people, we really don't know. And I think it's really, really cool. I think this is wonderful, Pappu.
Yeah. And finally,
the thing we've all been waiting to talk about, The Romantics that just dropped on Netflix. 4 episodes that I painstakingly forced myself to watch just so that I can talk about it on this episode. For those of you that aren't aware, The Romantics is like a documentary about Yash Chopra and Aditya Chopra and kind of
his
legacy and all the movies that came out in the 90s, like DDLJ and Mohabbatein and all those movies that basically created like this little bubble of very happy, cheesy Indian families, they kind of that overt joy that came after a time of very dark, violent movies in the 80s. So, yeah, did you check this out, Pappu, or was I the only idiot that watched this?
I did watch the first episode. So, I mean, my comments would be only from what I've watched. You watched all 3 episodes, right?
4, Pappu. I watched
4 episodes.
all 4. And let me tell you, the first thing I did was when I watched the first episode, I think everybody was like, why is Uday Chopra here?
He's his son.
But it turns out, then I was like, oh, okay, fine. So this is about his daddy. That's why I was like, because I was like, why Bollywood? Why do we have Amir Khan, we have Shah Rukh Khan, and then Uday Chopra? Okay, fine. I see what it is. All right. So tell me what you thought after watching the first episode.
I thought it was again it's about the Chopra legacy and their movie style. In the first few minutes, I was like, okay, I want them to dwell a little bit more into the movies and not just like generally talk about it, which they did.
Yeah.
So they start from the very beginning of the 2 brothers coming to Bombay to seek their fortunes, and the elder B.R. Chopra, employing his younger brother and seeing potential, and then Yash Chopra like finding his own feet, his wife supporting him being and like there's a lot of comments on how after he got married, his movies reflected the female point of view because he would seek out in the words of the talking heads, he would seek out the opinion of his wife, and she would tell him the female point of view. But I mean, honestly, as a kid, when I was watching these movies, I did not really delve into that, and I really did not see that come across. But when these people talk about it, I'm like, maybe I should rewatch it. I don't know.
I mean, I think they definitely like overly talked about how amazing they are. I mean, it's like the people who made this documentary are obviously only going to say good things and gush about it, which they did.
That is true.
So I took it with a grain of salt. But I have I was actually taking notes angrily while I was watching it. I was only angry because it was like 4 episodes of just like somebody tooting their own horn,
Yeah,
and I was like,
that is true.
My God, okay.
Yeah, there's a bit of a circle jerk. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's the correct word. And in terms of just going online and on TikTok and Twitter, people cried while watching this. It was very moving, so much nostalgia, all kinds of stuff. So I don't want to upset our listeners too much. So let me start with the positives first, okay? So first things first, Yash Chopra, yes, is a good commercial director. I'll give him that. He's a good commercial director, which means his movies make money. That's what I'll give him. He does have an eye for beautiful sceneries and visuals, like the Switzerland backdrops and that DDLJ scene of them running in the field, all of that.
Yeah.
Definitely has that. He has a great ear for music. His songs are all really catchy,
beautiful
every
songs.
DDLJ song. Yeah, we remember clearly. He did launch SRK's career. Like Shah Rukh Khan, basically, I feel went from being a villain to being the main lead because of this, this in relationship he had with Yash Chopra. And also, Amitabh's most emotionally nuanced work came with
That is true.
Yash Chopra as well. Like Silsila and Mohabbatein were like amazing in terms of
Kabhi Kabhi.
Yes. So I'll give him that. All right. But then when it comes to the bad points about his movies, they're super hammed up, very one dimensional and badly acted characters,
That is true.
terrible remakes of American movies. Like most of the movies were remakes, but badly done remakes. A lot of plot holes, shoddy editing. And honestly, to me, it's just one point of view of what Desis are like. The very heteronormative, family life. Very Hindu, very religious. They romanticize things like Karwa Chauth. All that eye-rolling stuff that I'm like, oh, God. So
Yeah.
yes, I watched these movies. They made me feel really warm inside, but I wouldn't say that they were groundbreaking. Honestly, if you ask me, I mean, the industry is
Honestly,
the industry is not in a good place now. So these guys, they eventually, like around episode 3, they really went into the nepotism aspect of it. They talked about it, and Aditya Chopra defended it,
Okay.
saying that no, my brother Uday Chopra could have been an actor. He was in the industry, but he didn't become a good actor. So how can you say nepotism exists? Because the audience decides who ends up becoming famous and blah blah blah, which I thought was nonsense. I think asking
Yeah.
people who are actually in the industry about nepotism is very stupid because they don't seem to
Yeah,
get it.
no one wants
when they basically cut to Kajol saying, yeah, my dad was there and then my mom was in this, and then basically they cut to Rishi Kapoor and saying that everybody in my family is in the industry, blah blah blah. We're the film industry people. Essentially, that's what they were talking about, which I thought was very stupid. I'm very anti-nepotism.
Yes.
Even Hollywood is having this conversation right now. And I'm
yeah,
not. I think
I
I don't believe in this. And I have a
all
lot
the
of
points, the
opinions.
negative points, you so like hit the nail, on the head. Honestly, even for me, I'm like, yes, the songs are great, but why didn't it make an impression? Why don't I feel like I want to watch? Because there.
It didn't move
Yeah,
you.
it did not move me because I don't feel like I can be part and see this through the characters' eyes. They didn't move me in that way. The songs is what really stuck with me, but the movie,
That's
like the
about
way it is directed, like the way the story is told, it's
clunky.
It's very clunky. Oh God, yes, very clunky. And I don't think at that point they were who is going to tell them that this is the way it's supposed to be done, right?
But that's why it's disappointing when you see these people claim to be the filmmaker families and we make the films. Like, you make bad films. In fact, if anything, this documentary has shown me why your entire industry needs to be f***ing crushed to the ground and built back up with new voices.
Oh my God, yes.
To me,
yes.
nepotism doesn't make sense because you don't have the right to tell other people's stories. Like when Zoya Akhtar did that, what's that rapper movie she did based on that rapper? Oh,
Gully
God.
Boy.
Gully Boy. Why is Zoya Akhtar telling the stories of Gully Boy? Why isn't she getting in, uplifting people from that community and allowing them to tell their own stories? So I think that's where it bugs me. Your nepotism has destroyed the industry. In all of these 90s films, Yash Chopra only hired his
That is
family and
true.
friends and his buddies.
Yeah. In the first episode, there is a part where Rishi Kapoor is talking about him being in this movie, Kabhi Kabhi. He's like, I did not want to be in that. They basically said, like, come for this, come for this. So the fact that someone... you have that privilege that you are a teenager basically,
Right.
and you are being asked to work on something, and you are throwing a tantrum that no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. And think of the number of people who in that time with great talent were overlooked, were never given a chance just because you could do a half-assed job at whatever you were doing.
And Rishi Kapoor is a terrible actor, and I'll fight anybody to the death about this because he's so untalented. That whole Kapoor family.
No, but in his older age, he did find, like, I mean, obviously, if you don't get better...
His delivery was very quick and rushed. He was drunk more than half the time on the sets, and it's super obvious.
Yeah, that is... I think Kumar and Sons was good. Kapoor and Sons,
Oh
sorry.
God, Pappu. So again, making movies in their comfort zone, like just keep pushing this North Indian narrative over and over.
I'm just saying that he got better with age, but he got a chance to make those mistakes, which is not affordable to anyone else.
No, it's because he came from his family. I honestly, I don't know what to feel after watching this. I just felt like they're trying to gush about their own history because they want to remind people that they're good. I don't know what to say, Pups.
Honestly, yeah, that's what, that got me thinking. Why would they release this? There must be a commercial reason why. Maybe they want more producers, they want more backing. I
think Yash or Dharma Productions movies are being removed off Netflix, and all of Yash Chopra movies are going to be added on Netflix. So I definitely think there's a deal. This is to create hype for all the movies they're going to be adding on that OTT platform. So I think that plays a big role in it.
Follow the money.
Yep, follow the money.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm eye rolling at the whole thing, and I can't believe I watched all 4 of those episodes.
Exactly. Thank you for balancing out all those
I did a lot.
Gushing posts that have been saturating my social media, because I'm like, it can't be this. I don't know what is it that you see. Why don't I feel the same about the movie?
Because there's a lot of Desis who have bad taste in movies. Yeah, I said it. It's
when
true.
you watch more international cinema, you realize...
Exactly.
There is so much...
You realize how bad our cinema is.
Yeah, exactly. We have a long way to go. Yes, we have a home of billion people. We produce 800 movies in a year. But how much of that is actually groundbreaking?
None of it. I can't think of maybe 1 or 2 movies off the top of my head. Even I can't name.
Maybe in the South, they actually break ground by telling stories which are unique.
Right.
But Bollywood is still mired in this whole, circle jerk of people who know each other.
Flashy spectacle. Exactly. And it's just all pomp and sass. That movie Circus also just dropped on Netflix, and I'm going to grudgingly watch it too. That's Ranveer Singh's latest movie. But it's bad. It got terrible reviews. And Pathaan got a lot of hype, but everyone's now talking about how terrible the story is. So I'm not surprised about that.
The story is bad. It's just you go there for Shah Rukh Khan, people go there for him, but still, it is not if you have been served with an RRR, you can see that something can be entertaining and be really
sensitive
good.
and have a good solid story. Absolutely. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Our 2 cents now.
Yeah, our 2 cents. Sorry, that's our 2 cents.
Let us know what you think.
Yes, listeners, feel free to chime in and DM us your thoughts, because I'd love to know if this thing made you cry or whatever.